Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here on my channel, hi, my name is Andrada. I do videos like this all the time as I am a makeup and hair stylist, and this video is actually going to be one of a series that I'll be doing here on my channel. So you'll be seeing other videos like this one. So this particular one is going to focus on what you should have in your basic makeup kit. However, I also done a video on everything that I have in my makeup kit as a pro makeup artist, so I'll link that in the description. I also do hair with my makeup service as well, so I have done one which shows you what I have in my hair kits also. I'll be doing more videos on my journey as a makeup artist and also what took me to this point, so I'll share my story as well as some tips that you could really use in order to further your career or get more bookings, because I hope that we can all grow together and we need to share more tips like this as artists, because I feel like it's a very close community sometimes, but there is enough jobs for all of us to go around. So I would really like to share this with you guys. I hope you appreciate it and you learn something also. But that's what this series is going to be about. This particular video, I hope you enjoy, and it's just going to be some of my holy grails if you're starting out as an artist, what you should have in your kit. As always, there'll be links down below, and I'm going to keep it more of a budget video or something that's going to be really affordable, as I know this stuff gets expensive very quickly. So I try to keep everything as low cost as I can. Some of these might be a little bit more on a higher price point, and that's just because I really believe that you should invest in this. But without mumbling on too much, I really hope you enjoy it. If you did, please leave a comment down below if you have any questions about anything that should be in your kit, any of the things that I show you. Just leave them down below and I will answer them. But one more thing before we start, if you can, I would say it's so important to just get a t-shirt, hoodie, jumper that has your logo on it. I think it's super professional. I'll leave a link to the one that I have down below. So if you see, it just has my logo. It also has it at the back. So we're going to dive straight into the video. Please ignore that cord because I have my fan just under so you can see this a little bit better. It doesn't have any cord to keep it together, so that's why it's there. By the way, I have the bigger one now, so I don't use this one anymore, but I just thought I would show you it in this smaller one because you actually don't need a lot at all to start your kit, and this is exactly what I want to stress in this video. Also, if you've watched this or if you think this is too basic for you, I have done a video of what's in my pro makeup kit, so I'll link that in the description bar down below. But if you are just starting out, you finished a course, or you don't have too much money to invest in your kit, this is amazing. You can do any one with this kit. I have so many staples. You don't need a big, expensive, very elaborate kits to start. So anyway, I'll link this in the description because this is amazing to carry around, but I'll show you what I have. So I've just opened it. This is the second compartment. I'll show you the second one and we'll go into the first one later. I just have, we'll start with this actually. So I just have some brushes that I think everyone should have. Real Technique is probably going to be your best friend, and Morphe also, because they do amazing brushes and they're super cheap, so you can get quite a few of them. So first of all, I've added these two brushes because one, you can use it for powder, and don't forget you can buy multiple of these if you think you need more. You can use it for powder and for foundation. These are for powder bronzer, and again this one is from Morphe. I think you should have something like this. And you know what, you can use it for bronzer, you can use it for blusher, you can even use it for highlighter, so that's amazing to have. And then I have a smaller brush. Again, this is for under the eye if you need to bake and then take something off. You should have a smaller puffy brush. And this is a nice to have but not a must have. So this one is more of a foundation brush if you like these type of brushes. This one is from MAC, by the way, but also for like primer to put on the face or anything like that. And this is for under the eye. This is amazing for concealer as it's really dense. I'm going to try and focus on it. Here we go. So it's very, very dense. This one is again from Morphe. I then have some brushes like this, and you don't need MAC, you can just use again Morphe, and these are used first on the eyes. So if I'm putting my concealer, eye primer, anything like that, I use these because they are super flat and they are a little bit pointy as well. So if you are doing cut crease or anything like that, they will come in super handy. I then have some flat brushes that I think everyone should have. This is just to pack on any pigment. Again, it'll be very useful for cut crease. And I have a bigger one. This you can use to smooth out the concealer under the eye, and you can multi-use these in so many ways. And then into more precision brushes, I think everyone should have angle brushes, and I have another angle brush that is a little bit more fluffy. So anything like this, I'll try and focus on this. Here we go. This one will be for eyeliner if you want to smoke out eyeliner, or if you want to do brows, this will be really good. Something like this is again a little bit more precise. This is another one to have in your kit, again for eyeliner or if you're doing any kind of editorial. And I think you should have some lip applicator brush as well. And then onto eyes, my favorite is the Zoeva 225 brush, and I put 3 of these in because I think you should have more than one, especially if you're doing more than one client. And then you have some more precision brushes like this. This is perfect under the eye and in the corner of the eye as well. So I'll first go in with something like that, and then in order to get no harsh lines, I'll use something like this. These are amazing again for concealer if you want to have them for concealer, but I think you should have quite a few of these. Going on to the second row, you have your Duo Lash, and I chose Duo because it's very trusty, and you should have a glue that doesn't come off. Scissors again for lashes, your lash curler, any brand will do. I get these from Amazon. These are just for mascara. These are also great for brows as well if you want to brush them up or anything like that. They're very inexpensive. Some applicators for the lips. I have a mascara. Again, if you want to get a drugstore one, that would do. Just make sure you get one that's waterproof or maybe one that's non-waterproof. I then have some essentials when it comes to liners. Black liner, brown liner, nude and white, I think everyone should have. And then onto some lip liners. I just chose a few because you don't need too many. So I thought any nude, and then pink, and then a red, and you could have something like this also, but this is not really a must. This is like an orangey one. This is Primark, and Primark does such good pencil liners, so have a look at them. The other ones are Nars and MAC, but you don't need the branded ones. I then have some clips, and you can buy these off Amazon, very similar ones. I think you should have something like this, especially if someone else is getting their hair done first, and these clips doesn't leave a dent in the customer's hair, so they are very handy. And then you just have some cotton pads, which obviously comes in handy. I'm then going to show you the bigger compartment, and I just put a towel because you should have a towel. You should set this first and then set any of your stuff on top of it, just so you are very clean. I will start with the top compartment first. You just need a sharpener. Any sharpener will do. A black liner, and I like to use a gel liner just because of course it's more hygienic. And this one from Inglot is amazing. It's waterproof as well, so you should definitely invest in something like this. I then have something to set the brow in place. This one is from Soap Brow. Any other clear one will do. And for brows, I chose the Brow Zinc by Benefit. The colors I have is number 2 and number 4, and I'll just open them up and show you them. So as you can see, a very blonde kind of person, and then going into more like chocolate. You can get maybe a number 5 or even a 6 to just go light and dark. But in terms of brows, most customers like a very dark brown and not a black. If for any reason I need to darken it, I can go in with a pigment from my shadows. So I think that's 2 that you should have in your kit. I then have powder, and this is again a very inexpensive one. You can get this one in caramel, which I think it's a nice tone for more darker skin tones if you're planning on doing all kinds of skin tones or like darker skin tones. You can also get the translucent one in this. However, I think investing in the Laura Mercier one is a must. This is the translucent. Of course, this is amazing for kind of any kind of skin tones. It has no flashbacks. It's just something that if you are going to spend a little bit of that extra, I think this is what you should get. And 2 more powders. I have the MAC powders. However, you can get a contour kit. I know that maybe NYX do them, Anastasia Beverly Hills do them, and there's other ones that you can get that are not as much if you're on a budget. But I'll show you the ones I have in my kit, and I thought I would choose these 2 as this is pretty much what you need. So I chose an NW46 and an NW58. And I'll show you the colors with the one hand. So this is more for darker skin tones, and I thought this one is a nice bronzy color, and you can control the pigments of this by adding less, and also you can use them on the eyes also. But again, I think a contour palette is a smarter option if you're just starting out. And then I have an eye cream. This is by Clinique because that's the one I have in my kit, but any eye cream will do. Just make sure that it's also suitable for people with sensitive skin. I have a lip conditioner. This one I've just depotted from MAC. As with any of these things, you can go for the cheaper option. And I also went for the Clinique Dramatically Different. I think another thing that you can invest in is a good moisturizer. This one is suitable for pretty much all skin tones, and it's very hydrating. This is actually from Primark, and it's so good. It was about £3-4, and it's a body shimmer. You can use it under the makeup as well, or mix it in with your foundation to just give a more shimmery look. You can use it on the body. This is amazing. I then thought you should have an oil for people with more dry skin, or to mix in with your foundation to kind of control the coverage. This one is by Inglot, but you can use any other one. This one served me really well, so I got the bigger one, but they do a smaller one also. And I also thought I should throw in the Professional in there because this stuff is amazing. Again, another thing that you could invest in. This is so good for anyone that has pores. It smooths out any surfaces and just makes the foundation that goes on top of it so much nicer, so much smoother. I highly recommend it. I then put these 2 in there, but I don't think it's a must to have. You can just use concealer. But these are the P. Louise bases, and you can use this as concealer also, but I use them on the eyes. Again, a fair one and a darker shade one. This is number 2 and number 5. If you do want to invest in them, they are amazing. They make the pigment that goes on top of it so much more pigmented, and they stay on forever. I've never had any issues since I've used them. Some tissues, of course, you can't go wrong with that. This one is alcohol spray, and that's the 99% one. You should have something like this in your kit, so just make sure you're staying really sanitized within your kit. Some hand sanitizer, of course, and a primer spray. Now you can get the Scandinavia one. That's the one I use in my kit, and it's amazing. Or you can get the Urban Decay one, that is the all-nighter spray. However, I want to show a cheaper option, and this one is by Primark, and it's actually £2. This is the primer spray. They do one that's maybe a little bit more glowy or something like that, but this is just the original one. I think this is amazing if you're putting it over foundation, just because it looks a little bit more nicer on the skin. If you're putting powder, it kind of just melts everything onto the face. So for £2, this is an absolute winner. I then thought in terms of lips, you can have palettes, and this is one I've depotted myself. However, you can buy these kind of palettes. I know Makeup Pro do something like this, which again is very inexpensive, but loads of brands do loads of different palettes. I just thought you could have something like this, which is quite compact and tucked away, and you get quite a few shades. Again, this is one that I've just depotted myself, but I've also thought I should show you the Nars one, which I've been loving. This one is the 7 Deadly Sins. So you have your nudes, reds, and more darker tones. Don't forget, with these stuff you can mix it in also. And of course you should have a normal gloss and a more shimmery gloss as well, and then a spatula and plate also to just put your foundation or anything else that needs to go on the plate first before it goes onto the customer's face. And in the first one, it looks like this. So you do have a compartment here. I didn't put anything in it. You have another zipper on here. I put a few palettes. First of all, I put a blush palette. This is by Zoeva and it's very inexpensive. You get quite a few shades as well. They last forever. This is what I mean when I said contour as well, because they do a contour one, and again it's just very cheap, and they do a highlighter one as well. So Zoeva is one to check out. It's great quality and you don't need to spend a lot of money on it. However, the only highlighter kit I had is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. This is an amazing one if you want to invest in it. And in terms of foundations, I think this is more of a personal use. I have quite a few foundations in my kit. However, I thought as you're starting out, you might want to consider something like this. This is the Bbu Palette by Bobbi Brown. It's been discontinued now. However, you might be able to find it online from individual sellers. But what you have is a lot of concealers, and on the other side you have a lot of foundation shades. I used to keep this in my kit, I don't anymore, but you can see it's just very compact. You have so much in there, and you can use this with an oil like this to just diffuse the texture. And also these are quite full coverage, so you can make it into more of a light coverage. And 2 palettes. This is the one I keep in my kit also. This is Anastasia Soft Glam. I know this is more on the pricey side. However, I think it's definitely worth it. I'll show you the shades just a little bit more up close if you're doing bridal or anything like that. These are amazing, amazing shades. You have your black as well, which I love to have in a palette. You have more shimmery shades as well. So you can definitely create so many looks with this palette. But I've also wanted to show you the Jacqueline Morphe palette. Don't keep this in my kit. I actually don't really reach for it anymore, but I used to love this palette. You have so many shades. You have your browns, you have your more colorful shades, you have so many shimmers as well. If you are visiting the Morphe website or the Morphe store, you will find similar palettes to this one if they don't have this one anymore. But again, it's a very inexpensive way to just get a big palette, so many colors in it, and Morphe will do that for you. And lastly, thank you for bearing with me till the end, we have some lashes. I would suggest getting your lashes in packs. I get mine from AliExpress or Amazon, and again I get so many of these. You can get them in different styles, more natural and more full glam ones. I then suggest you should have a pigment stash like this. This particular one is from Bellamy. As you can see, you have so many different pigments in there, and I think it's actually quite inexpensive. And I thought I would show you these as well, because MAC do some really good pro palettes. Starting with lips, they do these in quite a few different ones, but you can get the nude palette or the red palette. Again, you can just have these two and you're pretty much good to go, and you know it's actually a very good quality as well. And you have these two, which are your concealer palettes, so like a light one and more of a dark one. This is amazing because it comes with corrector shades also. So that's pretty much what I think you should have in your kit, or if you're starting out, what you should buy. I really hope you enjoyed the video and it gave you some ideas of what you might want to add to your kit. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. It does help my channel, it helps other people see this video as well, and consider subscribing and checking out my other videos.